The movie begins with a company called AEON, and this company makes an advertisement telling people that it buys their lives in exchange for money. Yes, just as I am telling you, this AEON company invented a technology through which they can take the years they want from any person, but on the condition that the person selling their years must be 18 years old, and their DNA must be compatible with the person buying those years. After that, we see a person named Max, and this Max works as a mediator for the AEON company. He offers a young man named Dennis the chance to sell 15 years of his life in exchange for 700,000 euros, and with this amount, he will be able to marry the girl he loves and study at the college he wants. Dennis agrees and signs the contract. Then, Max goes to the company's headquarters and finds people who look very strange holding a protest in front of the company and throwing tomatoes at him. When Max enters the company, he goes to attend a conference, but he is surprised by the applause of the people in attendance, and we learn that he is being honored because he was able to collect 27,640 years from donors. Afterward, the CEO of the company appears, and we learn that her name is Sophie Thiessen. She congratulates her colleagues and announces that she will enter everyone who has won a Nobel Prize and is still alive into the company's database, so they can live a longer life using the years they buy, and thus the world will be able to benefit from their knowledge and experience for a longer period. There are 15 scientists who have begun to recover in their company, and indeed we see these 15 scientists while they are in the company's private clinic, which was called the Time Clinic. But suddenly, we see someone killing all these scientists, and we learn that he belongs to a group called the Atom Group. This group fights the company and sees that what the company is doing is against nature and against life in general. We see the leader of the group confirming that her group is the one that did this, and she says she refuses to let humans be treated as a commodity. Sophie becomes very angry, and an investigator named Novak from the anti-terrorism department arrives and tells Sophie that the person who killed the scientists was hired months ago, and there are certainly other spies in the company, and he tells her that he will arrest the Atom Group as soon as possible. After that, we see Max with his wife, Elena, as they are invited to her parents' house. Elena's father is very upset with Max's job and tells him that they are exploiting the poor and stealing their lives. Max gets angry and tells him that the poor people they are exploiting are living a better life with their families in the best places. Elena intervenes and calms the atmosphere between them. After this gathering ends, Max and Elena return home, but the shock is that they find their home burning. The lawyer tells them that the insurance refused to repair their apartment because the fire was due to their negligence, and therefore the insurance company has completely washed its hands of the matter, and they must pay off the bank loan and pay 2.5 million euros, or else the bank will be forced to seize the collateral. Max is surprised and asks her what this collateral is, and then he is shocked when he learns that his wife had donated years of her life as collateral for the bank. Max goes crazy and tells the lawyer that he is ready to be the one to donate the years of his life, but the lawyer tells him that he is not a match for the company's database. Max tells her that 2.5 million euros means almost 40 years of Elena's life. Elena asks her for another solution other than donating all these years, but the lawyer tells her that unfortunately, there is no other solution. When they leave her office, the police come and arrest Elena. Max quickly goes to Sophie and asks her to give him a loan of 2.5 million euros. Sophie tells him to send her the documents for Elena's loan, and she will try to solve the matter, but 2 weeks pass and nothing happens. Max goes with the lawyer to the company, and they learn that Elena will start the process of donating her age in 2 hours. Max gets very angry and storms the company to save his wife, but the security manages to catch him. After that, we see Elena as they put the devices on her that will transfer her age to the age of another person. After the operation is finished, Max takes Elena and they go to stay at a modest hotel, and we see that the signs of aging have begun to appear on Elena. Later, Max goes to the company and learns that he has been promoted and his salary has increased by 1,000 euros. Max gets very angry and says to his colleague, "Do you think I even want to work for you again?" He leaves them and walks away. As he is walking, he notices Sophie from a distance, so he runs after her to talk to her, but Sophie's personal bodyguard prevents him, and Sophie doesn't respond to him and walks away. After that, we see Elena, who has become quite old with white hair, and she went to the hospital, and Max is shocked to learn that she was pregnant and miscarried because of the operation. After Elena wakes up, she asks Max for them to separate, but Max tells her that he loves her and accepts her in any form, but she insists and tells him that they cannot continue together again. Later, we see Elena's father blaming Max and telling him, "You are the cause." But Max swears that he will return her life to her once again. Max decided to take revenge on Sophie and kept following her to kill her. The strange thing is that he saw her entering the cemetery and asking her men to wait for her outside. When Max was able to enter after her, he tried to shock her with an electric taser, but he was shocked when he saw her young appearance. She kept resisting him until he managed to kidnap her, drew the Atom Group symbol on the grave, took her, and fled. After that, Max goes to Elena and tells her that he found a way for her to return to how she was. When she goes with him, she is shocked by what he did and tells him that she would never participate in a crime like this. But he manages to convince her and informs her that he found a doctor's location in Lithuania, and this doctor will be able to perform another operation for her to take Sophie's age and give it to her in the same way. Max and Elena escaped on a giant ship heading to Lithuania, and when they arrived, they found a large number of police waiting for them. Max decides to kidnap the daughter of one of the people with them on the ship and makes her father drive their car, in which Elena was hiding next to Sophie. On the other side, Max is holding a weapon and hiding in the car of the man whose daughter he kidnapped. With difficulty, they manage to pass through the checkpoint. Max calls the doctor to send him his address, and we see Sophie as she gets out of the car. But the shock is that she tells Max that she is Sophie's daughter, not Sophie herself, and tells him that her name is Marie Thiessen. Max doesn't believe her and tells his wife that Sophie's daughter died of premature aging disease and that this girl is actually Sophie. Marie tells him that was her sister Lucy, not her. Max doesn't believe her and gets back into the car, and then they go to an abandoned hotel to spend the night until the doctor calls them. Afterward, Marie asks Max to let her go to the bathroom, and while she is inside, Max gets distracted by his phone until Marie manages to hit him with a piece of iron, take the phone, and escape. She keeps running in the forest and tries to contact her mother's bodyguard until she falls into a swamp and was about to drown, but at the last moment, Elena came and helped her. On the other side, we see Novik telling Sophie's men that they managed to track Max's location, and this was because of the call Marie made before she fell into the swamp. He gathers a large number of soldiers and prepares to arrest them. But at that time, armed men appear in Max's room and take his weapon from him. Max thinks they are from the AEON company, but the shock is that we see the leader of the Atom Group. When they take Marie, Max says to her, "Please don't kill her," and she says to him, "And why would we kill Marie Thiessen?" Then they take him to a remote place, and we learn that the reason for Max's marriage to Elena is that Max was supposed to convince her to donate her age, but instead, he loved her and married her. We learn that Sophie is the one who burned their apartment, and she is the one who made the bank take Elena's age as collateral if anything happened to the apartment. Also, Elena would donate her age. But they take him to a place and tell them that Sophie Thiessen's men will come, and they ask Max to go out to them and tell them that he wants to meet Sophie. Indeed, Max goes out and says this to her men, and Sophie hears the words and goes to meet Max. But the strange thing is that her appearance is completely different than before. Max keeps telling her that she must return the 40 years of his wife's life, and she tells him that she can compensate him with $10 million in exchange for him giving her Marie. But Max replies to her and tells her that the only solution to return her daughter is for her to return his wife's life, and he asks her to go inside with him. Sophie agrees to go in with him, but as they are going in, Sophie's assistant asks Max, "How did you know Sophie was even here?" Max is stunned and doesn't know how to respond. They realize it is a trap and raise their guns at him. But we see the leader of the Atom gang saying her second plan and telling a person, "Execute." The shock is that this person is Novak, who was an agent for the group this whole time. At the last moment, Sophie's assistant notices his betrayal and kills him, but he had managed to fire at Sophie and she falls to the ground. Max manages to escape from the gunfire with difficulty, reached his wife and Marie, and they fled the place. Max got into the car, but the shock is that we see Marie pulling out a gun and pointing it toward Elena, and when she decides to fire at her, the gun's magazine was empty. A huge shock. Elena hits Marie with spite, but Max intervenes and prevents her from killing her, and they put her in the car. On the way to the doctor, Max tells her that they cannot do this to her, especially after they learn she is Marie, not Sophie. But Elena refuses and pulls a knife on him, threatening that she will kill herself if he doesn't get out. Max gets out of the car, and Elena goes to the doctor's place, and indeed they perform the operation on Marie. We see Elena walking away from the place after the operation is finished. On the other side, we see Marie walking alone until a large car comes to pick her up. Then she meets her mother's bodyguard, Sophie, and we learn that Sophie is still alive because she was wearing a bulletproof vest. Afterward, we see Marie and wrinkles fill her face, but Sophie reassures her and tells her that she will find a donor for her as soon as possible. After a period of time, we see Elena, who has returned to her youth again and is pregnant. But the strange thing is that we see her living with another man other than Max. Max himself is standing far away from her, checking on her. Then we see Max with the Atom group, and he is the new leader of the group, swearing that he will destroy the AEON company forever, and the movie ends.